Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Lions of the Republic of the new year. We survived Wrestle Kingdom period with our sleep schedules mostly intact, and as you can without a doubt see, at least hopefully, unless the technology's gone really wrong, we aren't alone here because Suki and I are joined by the one, the only Mr. Wrestling Republic himself, our owner, founder, and almighty benevolent overlord, Ben Allison.
Hello, it's great to be here. I'm super excited, and it was a great Wrestle Kingdom.
It's boss
Hmm.
time.
We're not allowed to say that
Oh,
anymore,
oh
Suki.
shit. No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
We've also been sent some thoughts and comments by other members of the Wrestling Republic commentary team that I have spent the last few hours censoring, so I think you can guess who they're from. So, without any further ado, before we get into kind of the match by match breakdown, we're going to give a massive spoiler warning. This episode will not only contain spoilers for Wrestle Kingdom, but also for the New Year's Dash show that finished 4 hours ago. And I made the mistake of, well, not mistake, it was a good show, but I did not need to spend this amount of time consecutively. I am very tired and I hear Gino Gambino's voice when I sleep. So, headlines, what were your thoughts on Wrestle Kingdom, everyone? Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I thought it was a fantastic show. I mean, obviously hearing the crowd again, that was after just being able to hear clapping for the last couple of years now. It was fantastic to hear the crowd going wild. The show actually felt like it went quite fast for me, actually, which was something
Hmm.
I was surprised about, considering the size of the card. But I wouldn't say it was one of my favorite Wrestle Kingdoms personally. I don't think it's lived up to quite a few other ones in recent years.
Hmm. Suki?
Oh yeah, same here. I think most most of the card went pretty well. I mean, if it was a go home happy show, I mean, it made everyone worth their tickets, especially the $600 ones for the people who paid for ringside. Uh, but like yeah, I mean the matches were good. Osprey and Omega fucking delivered far, and yeah, it was a pretty good show in general. Again, not the best Wrestle Kingdom, but I think Chris Charlton posted a photo of the last Wednesday Wrestle Kingdom that they had, which was Wrestle Kingdom 11, and this Wrestle Kingdom, where they had similar attendance rates. So pretty good. I think the fans loved it. I loved it. Everybody loved it. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think it was a solid show as well. It absolutely felt like a really positive step out of the pandemic era for New Japan. Like you said, Ben, the return of crowd noise played a massive role in that. Hearing the kind of chants of Okada or Kenny or whatever else, whatever other chants you wanted to include, were really useful to hear. And I think as well, the positive energy of Wrestle Kingdom really did bleed into the New Year's Dash show as well, which was a clap only crowd because it was in a government building, which meant it had to be clapped, and the regional government hadn't actually approved crowd noise yet. Apparently, that will be coming soon. It's just making its way through the legislatures. But that felt like a very high energy clap crowd as well. So I think all in all, a really positive 2 days of wrestling for New Japan. So first match was not a whole bunch to say other than Oleg Boltin is very large and very scary and very good at throwing people around. Um, it felt a lot like I was watching sort of an amateur wrestler sort of ragdolling Oiwa a bit. It was Oiwa, right? I get
Oh yeah,
Oiwa.
it
I
was
used
Oil.
to get Oiwa and Fujita muddled a lot, but I don't anymore because of what happened in New Year's Dash.
Yeah. No, they're both sons of Zack Sabre Jr., so it's alright. Uh,
No, he abandoned.
yeah,
But anyway,
oh yeah,
that will come up later.
yeah, that'll come up later. Again, nothing much to say here. I mean, it was a good exhibition match, 3 minute time limit. It ended in a draw. Oleg Bolton's first ever match in New Japan. Probably should add that. Again, he's a very big guy. Nothing much to add. It's just Oleg Bolton, very big man. He can wrestle well.
Yeah, you could definitely see the influence of Yuji Nagata on him. Nagata being sort of his personal mentor. I think it was in one of his slams where it's like, oh yeah, that is literally how Nagata does that slam, and it was like, yes, that is because Nagata has basically hand trained this man, plucked him out of the hills of Kazakhstan somewhere, uh, and then trained him in the style. Um, the next match was the hello everyone who hasn't made the Wrestle Kingdom card, apart from the dads. It's the Rambo.
It's a Rambo. All right.
This was a Rambo.
This was a Rambo. All right. I have all the entrants here. There's not that much to say. All right. We have Evil, Ishii, Doki, Kanemaru, Rocky Romero, Taguchi, Hikuleo, Cobb, Shane Son. Fuck, not Shane Son. Oh God, is he Shane Haste now? Yeah, Shane
He's
Haste.
Shane Haste.
Mikey Nichols, Aaron Hinari, Taichi, Yuja Takahashi, Kenta, El Phantasmo, and the final four that survived this one hell of a match. Fucking hell. Sho, Okan, Yano, and Shingo Takagi. Nothing
How
much
on
to say.
earth did Kenta and Shingo not make the main card?
Again, big
because
downfall.
Keiji Muto has to be on the main card, brother.
Keiji Muto has to be on the main card, and no way they're putting Naito and Naito and Tanahashi in the Rambo. But they could have built some storyline with Kenta and Takagi. Most of the matches were title matches, and Keiji Muto's last match, obviously. Nothing much to put in there. Nothing much to put in there. A lot of matches as well. So this one more match couldn't just you just kill me. If yeah, just the Rambo. They advanced to the day after New Year's Dash, where we would talk about later. Yep, there's not so much to here. It's just a Rambo with all the big guys except Sho, Rocky, and Taguchi.
Yeah, there was one quite funny spot where I think it was quite early on in the match where it was Ishii, Hikuleo, Ishii, Hikuleo, a couple of the other big heavyweights just chasing Sho, and it was just like, get back here, you! Which now having watched it was basically foreshadowing for what happened in the New Year's Dash four-way for the Rambo. Literally Takagi and Okan chasing Sho round and round in circles for the majority of the match. So then on the final match on the pre-show, we had the Antonio Inoki Memorial six-man tag, which look, Makabe got his immigrant song entrance for the first time in New Japan, so that Bushi Road money is going to use somewhere. I don't want to talk about the finish much because I think Tiger Mask was going for a sunset flip and then Makabe just sat on him.
In the New Japan website, it just says pinfall. It just says katai bigatame. It's just a little pinfall that they do. What was the finish of that match? I do not know. It just happened in an instant.
Yeah, Tiger Mask went for a sunset flip. For a brief second, I thought he'd landed on his neck or something. Thank God he hadn't. He just did it really badly, and then Makabe just sat on him. Also, we can break off the Makabe takes a bump counter because he took a grand total of one bump. That will be all the bumps he takes for the remainder of the calendar year. Joking aside, Suzuki, Nagata, and Kojima did a lot of heavy lifting in that match, as you could imagine.
Yep.
And Fujinami, for a man who is over the age of 70, can still do a very nice dragon screw.
Yep.
Which is good because he innovated the move.
Yep.
The combined age of the participants and the referee was over 400.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh god.
But again, joking aside, it's quite nice to see New Japan sort of respect the old competitors and give them a chance to pay tribute to Inoki and give them a chance as well to show their stuff in front of the crowd. To hear the chant of "I'm coming for you, you bastard" get echoed around Tokyo Dome as Kojima did his elbow drop, you know,
Yeah.
it was a nice moment, which was slightly ruined by Makabe just sitting in the tiger mask for the three. But also, Makabe gets the pin so we can play immigrant song twice.
Lucy
So
Road money coming in strong.
so I should probably
After
add.
that, we had the intermission, and we
Yep.
went straight into the junior match, which was
Junior
the
match.
first match you saw then, right?
Yes, it was the junior tag match between the United Empire and Leo Rush and Yo, of course, which is still a crazy tag team to me. It's a very random mix of mix, but it works, and I
Mm,
really enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
I thought it was short, of course, but it was an enjoyable opener.
yep. Shout out as well to Leo Rush for wrestling three-quarters of that match with a broken nose.
Yep.
Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that.
That was
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
found out that when they did the alley oop. Oh yeah, don't watch this match if you don't like blood. Leo Rush gets spiked onto the entrance ramp
Yeah.
about a quarter of the way in, and he broke his nose.
Wow. Yeah, it did look bad at the time. I didn't know if the blood was coming from the nose or the mouth. I thought that he
Mm.
might have lost a tooth or something. But yeah, wow, with fair play to him, and he's got some momentum at the minute in Japan. So good on him.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end, Catch 2 retained, but let me just tell you something. This was the opener, and it delivered strong. It actually got the crowd a little bit hyped. They got the
The
chants
Akira
going,
clap.
the Akira clap, and the catch Nini things going in some parts of the arena. I couldn't hear in some parts of the dome. It was a good opener for the match. Again, high speed junior. I mean, it's Francesco Akira and TJP versus Leo Rush and Yo, high speed guys, talented guys. I mean, what more could you ask for an opener? At the end, Catch 2 retained, where Leo Rush goes home with a broken nose. Where again, in his Instagram post that he did, the bandages look scary, man. I hope
Mm.
we wish him a speedy recovery here at Wrestling
I
Kingdom.
legitimately thought it was a broken orbital until it came out that it was the Wrestle Kingdom of possibly broken orbitals, they'll call it. Um, so then we had second match on the card. Second match on the card. The IWGP Women's match between Kairi and Tam Nakano, aka Tam hits one big move, Kairi hits two, and we all go home happy. Ish.
Apart from, I didn't go home happy. I was really disappointed in this match. I was,
Me too.
I
Same.
was on a Zoom call at the time watching it live, with a very tired Clark and Kobe who fell asleep a couple of matches after this. But during the match, I was like to them, oh, it's going to go 20 minutes or whatever. These two are going to have a great match. And Clark was like, oh no, it'll go a couple minutes. Watch. No, 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 no. And it really did. It was only a couple minutes long. Really disappointing. I was excited about this. First time, of course, a women's match was televised at Wrestle Kingdom. Is
Yep.
that correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It was. I was disappointed by it because it's two really, really great competitors, and I was hyped for it coming into the match. In fact, it was the match which I was the third most excited for on the card. So I was disappointed in the match itself, if I'm being brutally honest. Yeah.
Mm.
Same here as
My,
well. I mean, yeah, go ahead first.
no, no, Suki, go ahead.
Okay, fine. Same here as well. 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Insane elbow. I mean, I saw from the stands. I was like, "What the fuck? That ended?" Or oh God, I gotta bleep that too. I gotta bleep. All right. I was like, "What? No, that was 5 minutes and 47 seconds." Was one of the two top Stardom wrestlers in Stardom. I believe. I am not. I don't watch Stardom a lot. I don't want to get on my high horse. But I think, first thing, Kyrie's entrance was epic. I mean, the Grim Reaper bit was actually, yeah, that was pretty epic. Was his little pirate thing here, but this match was just something to do with Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné coming to Japan and just attacking Kairi and doing a botched gory bomb. I think doing a botched
Gory bomb. I mean,
gory.
the gory bomb is what Alba Fire does.
Yes.
They really need to call it the firebomb for her, but that's a tangent. Um, but like that, it's like she started with a gory special, and then tried to turn it into a DDT, but it wound up looking more like Francesco Akira's Speedfire, which would have been great if he hadn't literally hit it 5 minutes earlier.
I mean the idea for it, right, was meant to be that Mercedes Moné was going to hit the gory bomb into a DDT, a standing DDT. However, Kairi misunderstood and thought that it was meant to be she was meant to go down from the gory bomb to kneel and then take a DDT kneeling. So then at the time, so Kairi was on her knees ready to take the DDT, but Sasha was still standing. That was the miscommunication between the two, and it did look awful. And then Mercedes tried to laugh it off, and it made it look even worse. Overall, I mean, Mercedes' new theme song, the Money, it's over and over again. I found that interesting, to say the least.
Not
And
my
I
music.
spoke.
Give me Maccabey's Immigrant Song anytime.
Yes, that would be better than that, honestly. But I spoke about this on the daily podcast last night on the Wrestling Republic YouTube channel. That of course, the new hair for Mercedes, I'm really not a fan of. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a carpet
I
or
think it's because she
something.
looks like she's stepped out of Splatoon.
Yes, exactly.
Which is what I have written in my notes. Mercedes appears to have stepped off the screen of Splatoon and into the Tokyo Dome.
That you put it better than I could. But yeah, it's great to see her in New Japan. I'm excited to see what she does in New Japan Stardom. And yeah, I'm excited for January, or is it February 18th?
I think it's
February
February.
18th.
Yeah, because the challenge was made for Battle in the Valley, where Mercedes will wrestle against Kairi for the IWGP Women's Championship and probably win. Sorry, who said that? But yeah, hopefully Kairi gets a couple more defenses, because the moment she hit the cutlass at 4 minutes, I was like, hang on, it normally takes her like 15 minutes to actually hit the cutlass. Oh my God, we're going short on this one.
The one thing I wanted to ask you, Suki, was how was the actual crowd reaction inside the Tokyo Dome for Mercedes? Because it sounded really quiet on New Japan World.
There were more than expected. There were people who knew that Sasha Banks was coming, but there were also people that were like, who? Like, who is this? Who this girl? Who this girl who stepped into the Tokyo Dome? I'm like, and the reception was pretty meh. But when she botched that gory bomb, okay, the dome went dead silent with people being confused on what the hell she just did. I saw she did a little gory bomb into an arm bar and or something like that, but people behind me were like, "What just happened? Wait, what? Wait, what was that?" But I heard people screaming out Sasha, Sasha, and I was one of those people who sadly the people in front of me, I would like to apologize to the people in front, behind, and to the side of me who had to deal with my shit of it sounding like a dead pig screaming to Elevated, and also screaming Sasha to Sasha Banks, but. The reception to Sasha Banks was it was okay at best, but I think it just has to see if she can work in the ring or not, which she can, with all the accolades that she probably can in the ring. And
fingers
great
crossed,
to see her.
she's still got it.
Great to see her in Japan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, just looking forward to seeing what happens. Hopefully, the only way is up. Then
Let's hope so.
Then we had the next international guests, as we had the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match between FTR, who got the crowd to respect them in one move by kissing the IWGP Tag Team Championships, and that got them a pop.
Zach called them a pop. Yep.
The fans seem to love that respect. They also got a gasp on the near fall for the big rig and the mindbreaker. So
I mean, FTR, amazing, an amazing tag team. I mean, they won our Wrestling Republic Year End Awards. I believe so, if I'm correct.
Yeah, no, it's true. They won the tag team of the year.
The only tag team of the year. And in Japan, I think the main thing that comes to here, that Japanese fans stuff, is the respect to the sport, respect to the culture. Where they kiss the tag team belt, they were like, all right, we're gonna hand this to you. And I believe after the match they shook Bishamon's hands. I'd say
mm,
was yeah.
they did.
Yeah, and also since Japanese people we apparently love history. I mean their moves are based off of like 80s 90s tag teams, where I think that got them a huge pop. I think the big rigs that got them a huge pop as well, where I think the people
Did Arn and
the
Tully ever wrestle in Japan? Because the mindbreaker was their
one
finisher.
trick, yeah. They don't tell me
I know Arn did, but I don't know if Arn and Tully ever did.
totally. I have to research about that later, but
Right,
probably.
we'll get back to you on that next
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Unless Ben's Googling it now.
It's been
I,
Um,
I'm currently Googling it. Yeah, let me
Oh,
have
wait.
a look.
okay.
Uh, yeah, I can't.
But whilst Ben
Yeah, I don't
Googles
know if they
that,
ever did, but maybe they did while they were in WCW. I think they might have
yeah,
while they
wouldn't be
were in
surprised if they
WCW.
did then. Because, yeah. Then we had the opening of what has been the most interesting saga of the last few days, the opening act of What's Next for the members of Suzuki-gun, or former members of Suzuki-gun, as Zack Sabre Jr. wrestles Ren Narita for the New Japan World TV Championship. aka
I,
the...
I
Let's go ahead, go on.
Go
oh,
ahead.
I really, I'm a big fan of Zack Sabre Jr. And of course, he came out, and I remember I got a message from Soul last night. Of course, who works as an NHS doctor, and he was very happy about Zack Sabre Jr.'s remarks, telling the UK Prime Minister to pay nurses more in his Wrestle Kingdom entrance. That was certainly quite a moment, which popped me. I'll say that much. It popped me at 8 a.m. or 8:30,
Me
whatever
too.
it was at
Me
this
too.
time.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the match. It was short, but of course TV title matches will be 15-minute time limit. It's short, but I enjoyed it. I was kind of hoping it was going to be Ren's breakout. I was still waiting for that, but yeah, I enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, very entertaining match. Zack doing his usual trash talk routine is quite nice.
Yeah.
I really like Zack Sabre Jr.'s trash talk.
Yeah.
I also would like to I would wrestle. I also agree that Zack Sabre Jr.'s personal message to the British Prime Minister should be something that deserves a pop. Um, and that's as political as I'm going to get. Zack, I really like the finish as well, where Zack basically forced Ren Narita to play his game of trading submissions rather than trading strikes, and then caught him in a quick armbar for the tap.
Yep.
That looked like a nasty armbar as well.
Yeah.
Zack certainly perhaps put a little extra on the torque in that armbar because Ren Narita tapped quick.
And
Um,
after,
yeah, go on, Suki.
yeah, is it okay? After the match, when my dumbass wanted to decided to go to the bathroom during the best time, it it was me screaming, Zach, 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 Zach to the way of the bathroom. When I came back, I see TMDK members, Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste handing Zack Sabre Jr. a TMDK shirt, and now Zack Sabre Jr. is now in TMDK.
He's now the
TMDK,
leader of TMDK.
the front man now, I guess. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I personally was quite Surprised, to be honest. I didn't see it coming. Of course, Jonah's now left, and he would have presumably been with them as well if he hadn't gone back to WWE. But I mean, now it's an interesting time with all these new factions popping up, and small. There seems to be more smaller factions now as well compared to the big ones. With Suzuki Gun going, Bullet Club. Of course, really it seems to be by the day breaking apart more. And yeah, I mean, it seems to be they're going for more smaller sized factions, which I'm gonna be honest, must be a nightmare to keep up with if you're new to watching New Japan.
Yeah, I will comment the significance of why Zack Sabre Jr. got dragged into TMDK from a kayfabe perspective, and not just, oh my God, this faction's just lost its heavyweight ace, is because Zack trained in the Noah dojo with Nichols and Haste. They got their start in wrestling together, and then Zack broke out on the UK indie scene, and Nichols and Haste broke out in Australia. So it's a reunion for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Mighty Don't Kneel are a very popular stable in Australia. Don't know, and sort of the Australasian regions. I don't know how popular Zack is over there, but if he's anything as popular as he is in the UK, I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of TMDK at the Tama. I can't say it. Someone please say it. The New Zealand the Australia shows.
Oh, the New Japan Tamashi shows.
That one.
Yeah, the Tamashi shows.
Yeah, they should be exciting for sure. And I mean, I personally was hoping that because Sasha Banks is a huge fan of CSJ, I was hoping that they were going to go into a faction together. This is what I've been speculating recently, but it seems to be that seems to be off now. But I would have liked that. But still, I mean, TMDK, great wrestlers. I thought they were as what was it, TM61 in NXT. I thought they were highly underrated then.
Mm.
And I was fans of them before they went over as well with their work on the indies. But yeah, I'm hoping that they get a bit more, they get shown a bit more in New Japan now than they have been in New Japan so far, because they haven't, they haven't had any major, correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't competed for the tag titles yet, have they?
They will be now.
Will be.
Spoiler for this is one of the things that came out of New Year's Dash. TMDK pinned Yoshihashi and are presumably the next challengers for the heavyweight tag team championships.
I'm up for that.
So, same here.
Again with the Tamshi, they are absolutely going to be getting more of a push. So then we had this match has 5 working knees and Shota Umino owns 2 of them match. Sorry, the Keiji Muto final match.
Yep.
Literally, if you think about it, Shota's got 2 functioning knees, Sanada's got 2 functioning knees, Naito's got 1 functioning knee.
Nobody else has a knee.
Nobody else has.
Look, Muto Tanahashi, fine, I'll give a functioning knee to Bushi, but take Naito's away since his are held together by ring tape, spit, and prayers.
Oh gosh, but I mean, I didn't really expect much for this match. It was a nice, tribute to not tribute, but final match for Muto. And yeah, it did what it was meant to, but wasn't anything too special and nothing really I'd recommend checking out if I'm being brutally honest. But it was fun.
Shota looked good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm hoping this is his push now. I hope they're finally gonna, push him into the main event scene, but who knows?
Yeah.
Again, New Year's Dash thing. Looks like he's got a singles program with Naito coming up.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm up. Yep. I'm up for that.
Since
one thing I will comment on in this match is Hiroshi Tanahashi having to talk Keiji Muto down from doing a moonsault at the age of 62.
Save your knees, Muto. Save your knees.
Save your knees for next month in the Tokyo Dome, where there is no way that the Keiji Muto final show does not end with him moonsaulting some poor bastard.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, pretty good match. The ending. I was expecting Muto to hit the Shining Wizard and get the pinfall.
He did twice.
He did twice.
It was one of 4 moves he did. 2 of them were Shining Wizards.
I mean, the ending was I think Tanahashi did a twist and shout, and I believe all I remember is that Muto, all three members of the new generation, the current generation, the past generation, were standing in the ring. They got the they got Bushi. Tanahashi did some move to Bushi.
Sling blade.
Keiji, Sling Blade to Bushi. Keiji Muto, they were hyping Keiji Muto up for Shining Wizard, and I was like, oh, okay, Keiji Muto hits Shining Wizard. All right, that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Then he passes it to Shota, where Shota, good for Shota for having a pinfall win in the Tokyo Dome, but Shota hits the Death Rider, where please get where I'm tired of seeing a Death Rider. Please get a new finisher, like you said last episode, Ben W. Please get a new finisher. I don't. It's a Death Rider's cool. Maybe be a signature move, but please, please make
You have
your
this really
original.
nice swinging neck breaker thing that you do every match, and it looks better and better every time. Please use that as a finisher.
Not a Death Rider, but yep, that was Keiji Muto's last match. Not
And
what
now
I
we have chaos. Sorry,
chaos.
the four-man Master Watto is a legitimate junior heavyweight contender match. Because this was the purpose of this match. The purpose of this match
Yeah,
was to elevate Watto to legitimate junior heavyweight contender.
yeah.
Because
So
And
it's fairly clear that he is, for better or for worse, Hontai's main junior now.
yeah,
he just didn't. I don't know. He doesn't grow on me. He really doesn't. No matter how many times I see him, I just don't see there's anything special about him at all. And I thought this match was fun, but it wasn't as good as the four-way a few years ago, which was absolutely too fair. They weren't going to top that. That was just mental. I'm trying to think what year that was now, but Ishimori, Hiromu.
Ishimori Hiromu. I think Osprey was in it. I think, right?
Yes, yeah, I think he was. Yeah, it
So was
was.
Osprey,
Marty as
Kushida.
well.
Oh yeah, Marty. Oh
With
yeah,
Kushida.
Marty, Hiromu, Kushida, Osprey.
Yeah, that was
I
it.
think, yeah.
It was just that was unbelievable. That was a fantastic match. But yeah, it didn't top that for me. But it was fun. But again, nothing special that I'd recommend checking out.
Or
We had the
Hiromu's.
obligatory Despe and Hiromu try to murder each other spot, which is always quite nice.
Yep, Hiromu's entrance scared the shit out of me. What the fuck is that? I have to bleep. I have to bleep a shit ton for this. What the hell is that? There's like eyeballs sticking out of his like back and shit, and then he's carrying this little
I
whip
thought that was
thing.
Daryl.
I thought that was I thought that was Daryl. Yeah. He carries this whip thing and then he like slams it to the ground. The cameraman, why the hell would you do this? He goes up close to it. There's an eyeball there. And then I look closely to the little things popping out of his head when I came home after the dome. I was like, what the hell is Hiromu thinking? Man, this man has some real creative genius in him, but what the hell is this?
What was I going to say as well?
I
I think best overall Wrestle Kingdom entrance gear goes to El Desperado again.
again.
I very much like that suit. I want that suit and that mask.
Basically, all of
Um,
him.
Basically all of him.
Look, again, New Year's Dash spoiler, we will be getting a lot more Despe,
Yep,
as Despe is still teaming with Suzuki and possibly Ren Narita in a trio.
trio.
We'll touch on that in a sec.
Yeah.
So, as we hastily sprint through the remainder of the Wrestle Kingdom card, we come to the sole review of Osprey and Omega. I'm going to read it to you. Don't worry, I have censored this, Ben. Don't worry.
Do not worry.
Holy sweet profanity deleted. Profanity deleted. Profanity deleted. Tequila. What a match for the ages. Omega coming out to One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy might just be the best entrance ever, or his best entrance ever. Osprey coming out to Elevated was such a moment, showing an evolution of the character. Clash of characters in the match was incredible, with each strike from both men having weight and emotion behind it. The profanity has stopped now. Every man was fighting with their very spirit just to maintain a tactical edge in the match. I hope we can see these two face off more in New Japan or AEW. Please follow the Soul Sessions on Instagram.
Gotta plug the Soul Sessions. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree with Saul. That entrance from Kenny Omega was sick. Ospreay's entrance was sick. Like you were saying, Suki earlier, but you singing it in the Tokyo Dome. And when it happened, it was, it was a huge pop, it seemed like there. And I absolutely loved this match. It exceeded my expectations, if I'm going to be honest. I didn't know if Omega was still going to be able to, go the distance. Well, not, I know it was only just over half an hour, but still, I didn't know if he'd be able to go that long at that level because he hasn't done an AEW in recent times. But damn, did he do it? And damn, has he not lost anything over these last 4 years? It is great to see him back in the Tokyo Dome. Great to see him back at Wrestle Kingdom. And yeah, I didn't realize how much I missed him in New Japan until I saw that, and I was like, yeah, fair enough. He really was damn good in that match. Really, really delivered, and I loved the spot as well where you see him up and his head through the table. I thought that was a great spot.
The other thing, I mean, I would read some of my notes for this, but a lot of them do contain profanity. So I'm just going to give you the subtitle I gave this match of Canadian attempts homicide on Essex boy to get revenge for boyfriend.
Look, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I would just like to say as well, if anyone ever says that Will Ospreay cannot sell, show them this match. Because you, Ben, and you can attest, there was a point in the match where both Bens on this call were questioning whether Ospreay had legitimately broken an orbital bone, suffered a concussion, or be about to bleed out on the floor.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely thought that he was legitimately injured. As you said, I texted to the group chat saying, I think he is actually hurt here because he was selling that damn well. I was super impressed by him. And I mean, sure, he didn't hit quite a few of his big moves, but that sets up, possible another match or another date, which he can hit those and hopefully get the win over Omega. So I was super impressed by this match. And yeah, Ospreay selling was top notch.
And then somehow, in my opinion, Okada and Jay White managed to follow that match very, very well. Was it their best match ever? No, but was it still a very good match? Yes. Okay, I'm seeing some disagreements.
Personally, I didn't quite. Personally, I mean, we all knew Okada was winning in the first place. I mean, I just wanted to see something new from Jay and Okada that wasn't shown in the past matches. I don't know, something next level. But yeah, it didn't quite sit well for me. I mean, the crowd. I mean, they booed Jay, they cheered for Okada, they even did the whole thing. The crowd was fairly into it. I didn't hear much real reactions, except when Okada hit the Blade Runner on Jay, and but it just didn't quite sit well for me. I mean, I just yeah.
It really did feel like all their other matches, basically. And I mean, for a Wrestle Kingdom main event, you just kind of knew what was going to happen. Like Suki said, like it was obvious Okada was winning, and it wasn't anything special. Even nobody could top that Omega Ospreay match. They were in a position which was really hard to combat, but they worked a really in a slow styled match, and it didn't work. It wasn't bad or anything like that. It was, in my opinion, the second best match on the card still, but it wasn't anywhere near the match before it, and it wasn't anywhere near a lot of recent Wrestle Kingdom main events, in my personal opinion. And I actually personally, it was my least favorite match between the two. And it's just it didn't feel like you said, it was nothing original compared to the matches they've had before. And it's your biggest show of the year. It just, I don't know. I kind of felt let down, if I'm being completely honest, about the main event. But they were in a really difficult situation, in fairness to them, trying to top that amazing match between Ospreay and Omega.
So with that, the show came to an end, and we then had the post-match challenge from Shingo Takagi for Okada. which we also need to talk about in relation to New Year's Dash. And we have 13 minutes to run through what was a frenetic New Year's Dash show. So,
Let's
right,
go.
here we go. Opening match. Ren Narita, Tiger Mask, and Honma versus House of Torture. Way to suck the life out the building, guys. Honestly, House of Torture get the win after a magic killer, and they start putting the boots to Ren in the middle of the ring, only for Minoru Suzuki to come running out and make the save. Yes, you heard that right.
Minoru Suzuki.
And then they start putting the boots to Suzuki. Togo gets the garrote wire wrapped around Suzuki, and Desperado comes running out for the save. And they do the Suzuki-gun fist bump in the middle of the ring. Ren Narita is sort of like, what? He's got this really good confused expression.
Yep.
It looks like we might be getting Ren Narita, Despi, and Suzuki versus House of Torture for the trios titles.
Oh, please take those trios titles off House of Torture. I just want to see some good trios matches, and that's not. That's the fucking House of Torture with this group wire bullshit. Was okay? Here's the thing. Sure, you can put the KOPW belt on House of Torture. I don't give I don't care if you put I don't know I don't care if they win some sort of trios tournament. Just don't put belts on him on them unless it's a KOPW belt, because all they do, they decrease that shit. They can't put on great matches. I mean, the trios belt, I mean, we used to have in my opinion, we used to have some good trios belt.
Oh yeah, for
Another
sure.
trios belt, yeah, for sure.
Mm.
But now, I mean, what defenses have they had? I know that they did one last year in the Tokyo Dome against Bishamon and Yo. That didn't even deliver as well. That just served as a bastard
Isn't that
break
the dog cage match?
The dog cage match, yeah. No.
The winner was the team who managed to lock the other
yeah.
team in a dog
Oh yeah,
cage.
some dog cage bullshit.
Moving swiftly on before Ben and Suki both blow a gasket, we had suddenly Taichi's music hit, and out he came, and he's dyed his hair black, and Zack's dyed his hair blonde, so I choose to believe that the second greatest New Japan love story will continue.
Yes.
I choose to believe.
Yes.
Taichi came out, and he did the whole song. The whole song. And meanwhile, Kanemaru, Taka, and Doki sort of came rolling up on the ring, and I was like, oh, hey, Suzuki-gun reunion, please tell me they're not tagging against each other. And then Taka got on the mic, did the Four Horsemen hand sign, and literally said, we're just four guys, which seems to be their faction name.
I don't know if it's in the New Japan Japanese match report, it says just four guys, as in FOR, but I don't know if it's just four guys as in the number, or the just four guys only for men. What the fuck is that name? I'm
So,
sorry,
Jake.
Ben. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry, boss.
It does just seem like they're just splitting up. So they basically split Suzuki Gun into two different factions now, and then just had Zack Sabre Jr. leave and join TMDK. That's basically what they've done. Suzuki Gun is still alive. It's just now two different factions.
Yeah, I mean, they split it between the four people who were less over, and also Taichi, and then Despi and Suzuki.
I mean, this is technically Suzuki Gun. I mean, just underdogs just fighting their way out. This is technically Suzuki Gun, to be honest. This is.
So they came out, cut this slightly bizarre promo, all the while Taka is doing the Four Horsemen hand sign every 5 minutes. And then Bring It Down hits. Catch 2-2 come out with the junior tags. And Will Ospreay comes out, and he is just covered in plasters. And I'm like, wait, you cannot be serious. Will, please. And then I see RevPro tweet out that he's wrestling in York Hall tomorrow night against Eddie Dennis.
Oh no.
Please. Get some rest. Go to sleep. Like, I want to give him a hug.
Eddie Dennis as well. He's not an easy guy to wrestle. He's a hell of a wrestler. But he hits hard. So that's gonna be certainly not an easy night for Will.
So, despite getting a massive babyface pop from this clap crowd, like to the point where they were practically cheering Ospreay, Yui then work the following match as heels. Ospreay, Doki gets the pin on Akira. And so that's going to be the next junior program. And meanwhile, Taichi is like mouthing off at Will, and Will like grabs him, like starts screaming in his face. I can't say what he said because we'll get taken down for profanity. And he's like, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do, bruv? You're gonna go running to Zach because Zach doesn't want to talk to you anymore." And Taichi decks him. So that will be a singles program.
That'll be probably a singles program. I think somewhere one of the New Beginning shows. I think they're doing Sapporo this time.
If you don't believe that Taichi's getting pushed up the card, sorry,
doing a show at doing another, like I thought the rumor was they were going to do another night of Wrestle Kingdom. Is there any truth to that?
Oh yeah. So Night of Yokohama. The only thing that's getting announced tomorrow night as we record. So they're doing a press conference where they're going to announce the card. All we know is that Congo jumped LIJ, so it's going to be Congo and LIJ singles matches for at least a portion of the card.
And yep, it's also to add to that, it's just confirmed that it's just going to be another Noah versus New Japan match. A card, a Noah versus New Japan card. So looking forward to see what we have. That
press conference will probably be morning our time, Ben. So I'll see what comes out of it.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, that should be a fun show. Hopefully a bit better than last year's. One they
as
did.
long as they don't have Muta in the main event, we'll be fine. Then we had Bishamon and Ishii versus the new three-person TMDK. So TMDK scoring the pin on Bishamon for the heavyweight tag team program, and Ishii calling out Sabre Jr. And Zach was like, "Oh, you want some of this, sunshine? You want some of that?" The usual routine.
Yeah.
So that looks like that'll be the TV title program. And then TMDK did their usual sort of sitting on the ramp thing where Zach starts talking into the camera. And then Zach is like, "I want a new member." And fully grabs Kosei Fujita, sort of manhandles him onto the ring ramp, puts a TMDK shirt on him, drags him into the ring. They do a pose, whereas Fujita just sort of looks like a bit nonplussed. And then Zach runs off and screams into the camera, "Oi, Moxley, I've got my own young boy now." So congratulations, Fujita, you have joined TMDK. Blink twice if you're being held against your will.
It's gonna be an interesting faction.
Quite interesting that they did a massive camera pan over to Oiwa, the other young lion who Zach had worked with in the past, who looked like he'd just been shot. Like he looked devastated. So I wouldn't be surprised if Oiwa is going to go gunning for TMDK at some point because they passed him over in favor of Fujita.
All right. Next, what do we have? We have the
Shota, Yo, Taguchi, Makabe versus Naito, Bushi versus Naito, Bushi, Hiromu, and Sanada. And despite having Makabe in this match, Yo pins Hiromu. So there's the junior program.
There's a junior program. Yo just
Makabe does not take a single bump.
Are you surprised?
Nope. Then we had
Jay White goes insane.
Yeah, we had Jay White attempts homicide. ELP, Kenta, Ishimori, and Jay White interestingly entering to Ishimori's music, not Jay White's.
Or
ELPs. They didn't enter to either of the heavyweights' musics.
Yeah.
versus Wato, Tana, Hikuleo, and Tamatonga, which is basically just Jay White screaming at the Tonga. If you watch this match, do not watch it around anyone who's going to be offended by profanity, because Jay White was swearing so loudly that you could probably hear it outside of the arena.
Uh, so the match ended in a DQ with Phantasma, I guess, knocking Tama out with a belt.
So there's your Never program.
There's your Never program. Jay White, he's insane. He goes up
He's
to
fully snapped, like he's
He
fully gone.
he goes up to Hikuleo after the match and says, "Hikuleo, I have taken you to Japan for a very long time, and I'll take these opportunities from you. A man that was feared. Guess what? Hikuleo, JY, 1-on-1. Loser leaves Japan." I'm like, what the hell are you thinking, Jay? No. But, yep, go
I
ahead.
mean, the rumor is that he signed in 2018, was it? He signed a 7-year deal. Yeah, it was 2018, which would mean that he's with the company until January 2025, which, if that is true, and that's been the report now for a few years, and nobody's corrected it. So if that is true, then that means that Jay White cannot leave Japan as it is. But of course, sorry, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I mean. But the rumor, of course, not the rumor, but the speculation from that is it said Japan, not New Japan. So
Yeah.
could he just be going over to Strong and doing some Ring of Honor? Because, of course, Tony Khan has already publicly stated that ROH is going to have some heavy involvement from New Japan when it relaunches its weekly TV show on Honor Club in the next few months.
This is also very much unconfirmed speculation, but there has been some rumors starting to swirl. Jay White recently married, and he may be about to become a father. So obviously, he may want to be spending some time in Florida.
Yeah.
To be obviously with, if that is the case, we don't have that confirmed, but that is also the other rumor that's sort of being put around there, that
Yeah.
Jay is starting a family, and his family is still based in Florida. So
yeah, I mean,
if that's the
New
case,
Japan's
congratulations to him. That child has some good genetics, and
no, absolutely. I mean, if that is the case, I'm going to be brutally honest here. New Japan should probably be a bit worried about losing him in 2025. I mean, how old is Jay White currently now? 31, is it?
I
32?
think he's 30. He's 31. He's young. He's like young. He is. And he's not Will Ospreay, who wrestles
Yeah.
like every match is his last. Like he wrestles such a safe style. He will probably be wrestling into his 50s.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Triple H's not Triple H. The WWE's current policy is they want people on the main roster by the age of 30 now, from NXT. They're not hiring anybody, and there has been a big exception for somebody to be hired over the age of 30. But I think that Jay White could well be that big exception. So I think, I think maybe it might be time for New Japan to start being worried and start presuming that perhaps they are going to have to start building up a new Bullet Club leader.
They seem to be building ELP or Kenta, but Kenta is also getting on there a bit in age.
Hopefully, ELP, to be honest.
Yeah, ELP, quite interestingly, he's been teasing this babyface turn for ages, and it was him who sort of grabbed the chair away from Jay when he went to bash Hikuleo in the head with it. So, but then he literally 5 minutes earlier he hit Tamatonga with a belt in front of the referee and got DQ'd. So, then in our semi-main event, we had the KOPW four-way of Sho, Toru Yano, Shingo Takagi, and the King of Britain, Great Khan.
Oh, he has a sword.
Who has a sword now?
Who has a sword now?
All hail.
All hail Great Khan.
Shingo wins with Last of the Dragon on Toru Yano. Mutual respect between Okan and Shingo shown throughout the match.
Yep.
And Okan is the first challenger.
Yep.
Okan also has a date with Ricky Knight Jr. later this month, when Ricky has returned from his wrist injury, and Andy Quildan can stop panic booking Will Ospreay in a desperate attempt to sell shows. Please don't sue us, Rev Pro, but also, why did you book Ospreay last minute to main event against Ishii? Why did you book Ospreay last minute to wrestle Eddie Dennis? Please stop. Just because you've got Michael Oku selling an injury and Ricky Knight actually injured does not mean in case of emergency break glass book Osprey.
So I
Oh
think,
yeah.
God,
And then we had the main event, which
event,
was Cobb and Hanare coming out, doing the
Hanare.
crowns up, and everyone's
Crowns
like,
up.
okay, who are they wrestling? This is probably the Okada match. And then Devil Sky hits.
Devil Sky.
Kenny Omega with
Kenny
a black
Omega.
eye the size of the moon comes out.
Kenny, God. And
Again,
yeah,
why are you wrestling? You are literally
you literally have a you literally have you went through all that hell last night and you're wrestling the next night, just like Osprey. I mean, kudos to them, great respect to them, but just please, just have a break for the love of God.
Hey Suki, he's got a ladder match next week.
Oh yeah, he's got a ladder match. Fuck. Oh, fuck. I
Yep.
hope. God. And
Kenny Omega, I'm here for a good time, not for a long time.
He certainly is. He certainly's taken it personally, the fact that people have criticized his last 2 years. And he's now like, it needs to be 2019 all over again. Sorry, not 2019, 2018 all over again, where he just worked crazy everywhere all the time. In his last year in New Japan. And I feel like this really could be the year of Kenny Omega, and I'm excited to see him back in New Japan. But him teaming with Okada, not something I thought I'd see.
Team Okada.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fairly bog standard match. You know, they did the greatest hits. Okan and Cobb and Hanare played the heels to perfection with all the sort of villainous. Cobb went to do his sort of pat slap chop,
Yep.
and like Kenny sold it like he'd just been hit in the face with a bus, and the entire crowd sort of went. But the finish came when Kenny combined a V trigger with a running Rainmaker and then the Rainmaker for the 3. And, you know, the crowd went home happy. Kenny and Okada fist bumped and shook hands after. So something tells me they're all good with each other.
Something tells me.
Kenny joining the United Empire now.
Kenny joining Chaos.
Oh gosh.
So
That was New Year's Dash. We've got
yep.
3 new factions. 4 dudes, TMDK 2.0 and Suzuki-gun, but they're not because they've got Ren Narita. So I would like to see a custody of Ren Narita on a pole match between Ren Narita's dad Shibata and Ren Narita's murder grandpa Suzuki.
I can't believe now the amount of factions there are. It's even more chaotic to keep up with. But they're taking notes out of AEW's book now. Just creating random small factions. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes. And I mean, there's almost space for that to be another big faction, which combines a couple of them again.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what you're telling me is what we need is Parker Boudreaux and some weirdo whose name we don't know yet to stand looking menacingly whilst Jay White cuts promos.
Yes, that exactly.
On an unrelated note, please give me Swerve Strickland in Best of the Super Juniors or the G1, please and thank you.
Oh yes, no, that would be fantastic. His match on Dynamite last night was great. So in Best of Super Juniors especially, I'd love to see him there.
But that concludes our Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash review. Thank you all so much for watching. We are going to wrap this one up here because I think that's everything we need to say, other than please thank you all for the support. Please do like, subscribe, and leave us comments or DM us on Instagram. We're at lions_of the republic_WR. If you want to leave us feedback, we're super grateful for you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom if you did watch it. Also, check out the new season of the Soul Sessions coming soon with a very exciting series of new guests, which we don't know. Well, you probably do, but we don't know yet.
No, I know some of them. Yep.
And check out everything else, and please do subscribe because, you know, that's the place where you get notified of all the cool things we do here at Wrestling Republic, which we do for you, for the fans, free, because we do it because we love it. And we're super grateful as well for Ben for coming and joining us.
It's
Hopefully
been
he'll
a
be back
blast.
soon.
Thank you for inviting me on, guys. And there's also going to be a New Japan Wrestle Kingdom review going up on Friday or Saturday on WrestlingRepublic.com by Kobe Galanzowski if you guys want to see our star ratings for the show.
Yeah, please do check that out. Kobe is certainly harsh but fair, and his beautifully crafted metric system, which you can read in full because it's entirely fair. It's entirely fair that you guys get to see how we make our decisions.
Yeah, it's all on WrestlingRepublic.com if you want to read it. Just click on any review and then scroll down to the bottom, and you can click on a link which takes you to an article showing the metric system in full. And yeah, it's as Ben W said, it's a very fair system, and yeah, hopefully it's meant, the idea behind it is it's bias free, so it just, no matter what promotion you might have reference to, it's bias free.
Yeah. And now I'm going to put myself on mute because I want Ben to do the traditional Lions of the Republic sign off. So in this era where we have said goodbye to one of the greats, to celebrate his memorial show.
Ben, if you know, okay, now this will be a test if Ben actually watches our content.
I do watch it, but I don't watch
You
the ends of it
watch it.
usually. When you start wrapping it up, I click off it.
Who then told you?
I
Fake
don't
Guess
fan.
what
actually even know if I know.
Guess what it is?
I must know.
You must know.
How
You-
has literally every New Japan show ended that Okada has closed the show with every night? Other than I will make it rain and do the pose.
You guys are really putting me on the spot here. Thank you and good night. Well, that's Kenny Omega's. I don't know.
He's the founder of New Japan, Ben. He's the founder of New Japan. It's every time he closes a show, what does he do?
I have honestly no idea.
He
I
counts.
didn't know.
Fuck.
I've watched it so many times, but
God, I gotta do this. Ich.
We're on knee. San.
San. Da.